Good evening and welcome to the November 6, 2019 legislative session of the Town Board, and we'll officially call the meeting to order. I'll ask that everyone please rise and then remain standing after the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to just take a moment. Manny Ortiz lost his life Saturday as he was on his way to work, a member of the Rochester Police Department, someone that very well known and highly respected within the police community. I'd ask everyone to please join us for a moment of silence. Thank you. I'll ask our clerk to please call the roll.
Cole. Here. LaFountain.
Here.
Metzler. Here. Moore.
Here.
Quinn.
Here. We will move on to our communications and announcements. I'll recognize the clerk to please start those off.
The extended application period for leftover deer management permits began last week on November 1st and are issued on a first-come, first-served basis. All applications will be accepted only in person. Applications will not be accepted by phone, mail, or online. Hunters may apply for and receive up to 2 additional DMPs. Applicants with licenses that are exempt from paying a DMP application fee or hunters who have previously applied for DMPs during this license year will not be charged any additional fees during the extended application period. DMPs are only valid for antlerless deer in wild management units. Also, the Penfield Ecumenical Food Shelf's annual Thanksgiving distribution will be held on Saturday, November 23rd. If you are able, please consider donating a frozen turkey. The Penfield Ecumenical Food Shelf was established in 1997 and was created to meet the needs of the Penfield community for those in need of emergency food. The Penfield Ecumenical Food Shelf is 100% donation-based and volunteer-run. If you can donate a frozen turkey, please email penfieldfoodshelf@gmail.com or contact me at steckloff@penfield.org for more information. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Quinn.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Good evening, everyone. With the heating season upon us, RG&E has asked the town of Penfield to remind residents to be aware of the dangers of carbon monoxide, CO, a colorless, odorless gas that can quickly harm you and your family. Exposure to CO can cause flu-like symptoms, including headache, dizziness, weakness, nausea, and loss of muscle control. Prolonged exposure to CO can lead to serious illness and even death. To help keep you safe, RG&E recommends that you use CO detectors. New York state law now requires CO detectors in most residences. Have a professional check heating systems, chimneys, flues, and vents once a year. Never use an emergency generator indoors, including the garage. Never use a natural gas stove, oven, or charcoal grill as an indoor heating source. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you. Mrs. Messler.
I have one announcement this evening. The holiday season is a time when individuals are looking to donate to different groups and organizations to help those in need. Matt's Coats for Kids was started by the family and friends of Matthew J. Fitton in the fall of 2004. Matthew lost his life in a tragic car accident in August of 2003 at the age of 20. Each year, the organization collects and donates new or gently used coats and other items to area children who need help in keeping warm during the winter months. To date, more than 9,000 items have been distributed. Residents can help keep Matt's memory alive by dropping off winter outerwear at the Town Hall or the Community Center from now until December 2. Information about Matt's Coats for Kids is available at www.mattscoats.webs.com or by calling 585-721-5289. And that's all I have for this evening.
Thank you. I have one item. I just want to let everyone know that the Town of Penfield offices will be closed this coming Monday, November 11th, in observance of Veterans Day. That includes the Town Hall, DPW, Recreation, and the courts. The Penfield Public Library will remain open during normal business hours on that day. Mr. Moore.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Penfield's Daytime at Recreation, or DEAR program, is holding their first annual Arts and Crafts Fair on Saturday, November 9th at the Penfield Community Center from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Vendors from Penfield and surrounding areas will come together to provide a unique shopping opportunity for our community. For more information, please contact the Penfield Recreation Department at 340-8655. And then I believe we've got some video coverage of the new athletic box field that's being constructed at Rothfuss Park. And I think that will come on here in a moment. There it is. The athletic field is an excellent example of partnerships with other government agencies or entities. Senator Rich Funke provided roughly $80,000 in funding to help construct this and help bring it to fruition, in addition to the Penfield funds. This town board accepted that money and added a little extra funding to get this up and going. And as you can see by the drone video that we hear, thanks to our community television, Dave Renner and his team, the facility is almost done. The turf is being installed and should be done by the end of the week. And we've got an exciting ribbon cutting ceremony coming up on the 16th of November. That's Saturday, the 16th. Hopefully we'll have some exhibition lacrosse games with Penfield Youth Lacrosse. And the field's capable of not only handling lacrosse, but it can handle field hockey, football, soccer, and other activities. Ice skating is not going to be used on that site, just with the all-season turf. It's just not conducive to flood that facility and so forth. But this is a great amenity and offering for our youth sports here in Penfield. I'm very excited as a town board member to support this along with all the other town board members, and would like to thank you, Supervisor LaFountain, for making this happen, and certainly thank Senator Rich Funke for his support and securing state funding to help pay for this facility. A wonderful addition to Rothfuss Park, and I know there's a lot of people looking forward to watching the kids play sports and other activities on the new box athletic field at Rothfuss Park. So thank you very much.
Excellent, thank you.
Okay, I have two announcements. The Shepherd Home, Penfield's Comfort Care Home, has launched one of its 2019 holiday fundraisers. You purchase wreaths or poinsettias for holiday gifts or for your home or your office. The wreaths are $25 each, poinsettias are $12 each, with a choice of red, white, or pink. Orders must be placed by November 14th. And for more information, you can call 381-0890. And my next community chat is Tuesday, November 19th, from 5:30 to 7 in the new book area, if you'd like to stop by. And not on the agenda, but it was Election Day yesterday, and I want to thank everyone that came out to vote and appreciate the confidence that I was reelected. Supervisor Tony LaFountain was reelected. My running mate, Debbie Draw, was elected for town council, and our town councilwoman, Paula Metzler, was elected for town justice. So it was a good night for us here, and we really appreciate everybody that came out and voted. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to public participation. There are two opportunities to address the board on any matter. You can do that if you're here in attendance in the auditorium this evening. You can do that by calling 340-8771, or you can log on at penfield.org. And I've seen no one in the audience and nothing on the board for calls. We'll move on. There is a second opportunity at the end of the agenda if anyone would like to either call in or if you stop in to address the board on any matter. Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda this evening? Seeing none, we do have a set of minutes. Those minutes are from October 2nd, 2019. Would entertain a motion of approval for those minutes.
I move that the minutes of October 2nd be approved.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Are there any discussion regarding those minutes? Seeing none, I'll ask for a roll call vote, please.
Cole?
Aye.
LaFountain?
Aye.
Metzler?
Aye.
Moore?
Aye.
Quinn?
Aye.
5 ayes.
Since our last meeting, has the town board, town attorney, or a town clerk received any petitions? Seeing none, We'll begin with resolutions by function, and we'll start with Law and Finance, please.
Shared Services Agreement with Monroe County.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas the town of Penfield and the county of Monroe have a long-standing cooperative relationship regarding shared services. Whereas both the town and county desire to continue this relationship with an intermunicipal agreement for fleet services that was dated March 31st, 2009, and email correspondence between the Monroe County Department of Environmental Services and the town supervisor. Now be it resolved that Taunton Forces will continue to plow and salt an access road to the Gloria Drive landfill as needed during the winter season, approximately 20 to 25 trips annually. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion. Seeing no further discussion, roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Setting a public hearing to consider a conditional use permit to allow a seasonal tent in the outdoor dining area at K2 Brewery located at 1221 Empire Boulevard.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas an application has been received by the Penfield Town Board for the issuance of a conditional use permit pursuant to Chapter 250-5.9B-1 of the Code to allow for a seasonal tent and outdoor dining at K2 Brewery at 1221 Empire Boulevard. Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Penfield shall hold a public hearing at the Penfield Town Hall on December 4th, 2019, at 7 p.m. on said date to consider said application and to hear all persons interested in the issuance of this conditional use permit. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion. Seeing no further discussion, roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Authorization for supervisor to sign a professional services contract with BME Associates to prepare the Shadow Pines Properties Conceptual Master Plan and supporting documentation.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Penfield desires to create a conceptual master plan for the Shadow Pines property to address the recommendations of the Shadow Lake Shadow Pines Community Advisory Committee final report dated September 2nd, 2016, and the Shadow Pines Land Use Advisory Committee final report dated April 17th, 2019. Whereas at its August 4th, 2019 work session, the Town Board authorized the supervisor and staff to prepare a request for proposal for the development of the Shadow Pines Properties Conceptual Master Plan. Whereas staff prepared the RFP and made available to area consultants, posted it on the town's website September 4th, 2019. Whereas the town received 5 proposals from qualified consultants. Whereas the town reviewed all 5 proposals and determined the consulting firm who felt met the specific requirements to undertake the project as outlined in the RFP. Now therefore be it resolved that the supervisor is hereby authorized to sign a contract with BME Associates, 10 Liftbridge Lane in Fairport, New York, 14450 to prepare a conceptual master plan and supporting documentation for the Shadow Pines property at a cost of $12,500. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion.
Real quick, Mr. Supervisor, I would just like to note, as the referral said, and kind of follow up on that, moving forward with the master plan on this property was something that this town board was interested in doing, and it's based off of the recommendation of the Shadow Pines Land Use Advisory Committee, and that committee was put together and authorized by this board. It's a 12-member committee of residents of Penfield, some of those that live around Shadow Pines and others that live considerable distance away from Shadow Pines. So it was a well-rounded mix of residents across the town of Penfield. And so that committee came together, and one of the recommendations from that committee, and I have their final report with me right now, was indeed on page 21, for the town to engage in a municipal environmental planning services to guide the planning and implementation of best uses on that property. And so I'd like to thank you, Mr. Supervisor, for spearheading this initiative. I know it was important as a facilitator that I was, and also you were, Mr. Supervisor, to that committee of residents to move to the next step based on their recommendation and their final report to put together a master plan and hire a professional company to go ahead and do that, and that's what we're doing tonight. So thank you, and I would strongly encourage this board to support that resolution. Thank you.
Right, thank you. Further discussion? See no further discussion, roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Granting a conditional use permit to allow a hair salon at 1782 Penfield Road.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas an application has been received by the Penfield Town Board for the issuance of a conditional use permit pursuant to Chapter 250-5.10-D4 of the Code to allow a hair salon at 1782 Penfield Road in the Four Corners zoning district. Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Penfield held a public hearing at the Town Hall on October 16th at 7 p.m. on said date to consider the application. Be it resolved that the Penfield Town Board determined that the applicant's request for a conditional use permit to allow this hair salon is granted subject to the following conditions. For the record, Mr. Supervisor, there are 9 conditions as a part of this resolution. All 9 are consistent with the Four Corners zoning district and were discussed at the last work session meeting when we met with the applicant. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moore, thank you. Discussion? Seeing no further discussion, a roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Budget amendment in sewer fund.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas vehicle maintenance in the sewer operations account requires additional funding. Whereas the town board desires to have an up-to-date budget in relation to current appropriations and revenues. Be it resolved that the following 2019 budget amendments be approved. Under revenue, sale of equipment, $3,150. Under interest earning, $6,000. And then under appropriations for vehicle maintenance, $9,150.
Thank you. Discussion? See no further discussion, roll call vote.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Budget amendment for 2019 in the library fund.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas at their monthly meeting, the library board has recognized interest income during the second and third quarters of 2019 in the amount of $1,900. Whereas the town board desires to have an up-to-date budget in relation to current appropriations and revenues. Now therefore be it resolved that the 2019 amendment or budget amendment be approved under revenue, interest income, $1,900. Under appropriations, under gift and memorial expenses, $1,900. Thank you.
Thank you. Further discussion? See no further discussion, roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Setting a public hearing to consider amendments to the zoning ordinance and the mixed-use development manual.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas the town board desires to amend sections of Chapter 250 of the Penfield Town Code and a section of the mixed-use manual. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Penfield will hold a public hearing at the Penfield Town Hall on December 4th, 2019 at 7 p.m. on said date to consider this matter and hear all persons in the question of amending Chapter 250 of the Penfield Town Code and mixed-use development manual as more particularly described in Section A attached to as a part of this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion? Seeing no further discussion, roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
No.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
4 ayes, 1 no. Budget amendment for the box field installation at Rothfuss Park.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas sealed bids were sought and a contract awarded on November 1st, 2017, totaling $98,175 to All Sports Enterprises to provide the Department of Public Works with a box turf field. And whereas the town received grant funding through Senator Funke for a portion of this project totaling $80,000. And whereas the town received $57,700 of the grant in 2018 for the purchase of materials, and whereas the project is currently under construction with All Sports Enterprises, fulfilling the terms of their contract. Be it resolved, the following 2019 budget amendment be approved. Revenue, New York State grant, amount $22,300. Appropriations to Rothfuss Park Fields in the amount of $22,300.
Thank you. Further discussion? See no further discussion, roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes. Roadway dedications for 2019.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas the following developers and owners have made application to the Highway Department of the Town of Penfield for the final dedication of town highways in the Town of Penfield, as noted in the following and described more fully on the subdivision plat maps listed below, which have been approved by the Board of Jurisdiction and have dedicated and released the necessary lands owned by them for the proposed highways. Redstone Builders LLC, Crown Point, Section 3B, the remainder of Crown Point Drive. Now therefore be it further resolved that the town board hereby accepts dedication of the road or portions thereof as described above, all in accordance with Section 171 of the Highway Law of the State of New York.
All right, thank you. Further discussion? See no further discussion, a roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
5 ayes.
This brings us to old business. Is there any old business to come before the board this evening? Seeing none. Is there any new business to come before the board this evening? Again, seeing none. This is the second opportunity to address the board on any matter at this public participation portion of the agenda. Seeing no one in the audience, and again, no calls on the board, I will declare that the November 6, 2019 legislative session of the town board stands adjourned at 7:24 p.m. Thank you to PCTV.